Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Miss Lisa, and feel free to like, comment, subscribe to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about and kind of reminisce on this time last year. I was in beautiful, wonderful Jamaica for the first time, and it inspired me to go back a second time because I love this so much. And based off where we are right now, being in this kind of crazy space in terms of COVID-19, the novel coronavirus, and everything just getting canceled, like the Shamrock Shuffle canceled, um, conference postponed, all types of things just cancel. Gatherings of people anywhere just getting canceled. People just sneezing, coughing, canceled. Sniffling, cancel. So I wanted to kind of reminisce on my wonderful Jamaica. So reflect back with me. So when I went to Jamaica last year for the very first time, when we first landed, you get into their airport space, kind of where all of their pickups happen. So we ended up in this beautiful lot, and it was just beautiful, perfect weather. As soon as you land, you can feel like the warmth and the heat, and just like the sense of I'm on this island. It's beautiful, it's wonderful. I'm just ready to kick back and relax and have a good time, just enjoy my vacation. Um, so you actually kind of go through customs, you pick up all your luggage, and then you come out, and there's all these different um, pickup companies, and I'll show you some of the pictures and the footage too from Jamaica, so you can take a look. Um, and then you get on your assigned pickup bus company, and then what I learned is, because the first time I was in Jamaica, I was around people that had been there 4 or 5 times. Like, they had been going to Jamaica for years and years and years. And what they said was that a lot of the infrastructure, and today I'm on my big comfy couch. So a lot of the infrastructure in Jamaica has actually been built and established. So like their airport, their roads, a lot of that has been kind of newly developed. So what people were telling me is that previously it would take like hours, like it would be like a half a day trip to get from the airport to their resort. Now that the roads and the infrastructure, like the airport is even built out more, now it's like a 1 hour drive. So where they used to kind of stop in all the neighborhoods, and it would just be a huge undertaking to get people to the resort, now it's just like a quick ride, 45 minutes. And I want to tell you about this. So in Jamaica, they drive on the right. We here in America, we drive on the left. They drive on the right. And in Jamaica, they drive like everybody drives like 100 miles an hour. Like, they fly. And they always pass each other, and they they sit on the right, they drive on the right, and they just fly around each other. Like, I think we saw one stoplight on the way to the resort. It was just going 100 miles an hour, just flying. And I was sitting back, cool as a cucumber. I'm like, hey, God got me. But everybody else in my little van was like, let me out. It was so hilarious. I'm just like, my daddy drive this fast. um, so finally, we get to the resort, and both times in Jamaica, I stayed at the um, Grand Palladium. So I stayed on both the Lady Hamilton side, which is the new, more renovated side, as well as the Jamaica side, which is the not so new side. Um, so let's talk about my first experience, and then we'll talk about the second experience maybe in another video, right? So the first experience, I checked in, and as soon as the guy brings you to the resort and they drop you off with your luggage and everything. He tells you stop at the bar before you even check in. Stop at the bar, get a rum punch, get something to drink. And surely enough, Miss Lisa stops at the bar for a rum punch. And it was absolutely delightful. It was delicious. And I took full advantage of that open bar, even like while I was checking in. I'm like drinking my drink, and they encourage you to do that while you're kind of checking in, getting to your hotel, getting to your room key and all the other stuff. So I get my rum punch, and then while she's preparing my room information, I'm just kind of taking it all in because that first trip to Jamaica was like a nice long weekend, and it was kind of like my prelude, my preview of Jamaica. And just coming from the States, and it's kind of coming off of winter, getting into spring, still ridiculously cold, and you're stepping into like high 80s, mid 80s, like, like you just, oh my gosh, it just gives you new life. But just like taking it all in and like seeing all of like the scenery and even just like the kiddie area, all the beautiful palm trees. So we were just like ready to get down. Um, so the rooms were not quite ready when we got there because I was checking into the Lady Hamilton side, and then some of the people that I were with were on both sides, Lady Hamilton and on the Jamaica side. So what they told us was, hey, La, I'm trying to see the name here, La Adelita. I can't remember the name, but I'll put it up there for you. But there was one of the buffets was still open for like lunch slash dinner because it was around 5 o'clock. And they were like, we're just, making those final little tweaks to your rooms. Go eat, and we'll make sure that the rooms are ready. So we sit down, honey, and I was just like, I'm like, I'm only gonna be here for about 3-4 days. I want to eat everything. I want to taste everything. So as soon as we sit down, I'm like, okay, steak looks good. Bring me the steak. Steak was on point. They made it exactly how I wanted it. I'm like, and it's all you can eat. So I'm like, okay, the steak was good. Let me try the burrito. Burrito was good. Let me try the Bob Marley drink. So the Bob Marley drink was good. And usually what I do on vacation, I kind of indulge myself a little bit. So I may have a glass of water next to a glass of pop next to liquor, or water next to lemonade next to something else. So I like to like treat myself, treat yourself. Um, but it was a really good experience. So once the rooms were ready, because we're coming from the States, we got these heavy coats, heavy clothes on. We're ready to put on bathing suits and come back out, take advantage of that first day, um, which is pretty much what we did. So we got our rooms, and actually I did take a little video of my first room. It was actually like a junior suite, so it was for one person, two people. I think they can fit up to 4 people in that room, 5 people, I'm not sure. But I had that room, and I did do a little tour of that room, so I will show you that room.
So I am in room.
And the room was great. um, the cleaning could have been a little bit better, but that's perfectly fine. So I learned that on my second trip to bring some, Clorox wipes and things like that, and just make sure everything was together. So that first night, we got settled in, put on our bathing suits, went to the adult pool, and the adult pool was really dope because um, they have a bar next to the pool, and they have like a little jacuzzi area with some columns. But the adult pool was actually over 5 feet deep, and I'm only 5 feet tall, so I was like, I'm a basic swimmer. I'm okay in the water, but I'm not comfortable in water that's above my head. So like, if I can stand up and my head and my head is above the height of the pool, then I'm fine. But if I'm like completely submerged, then it kicks in like my fight or flight. So I was like, I'm just gonna dangle. I'm not gonna swim in this pool. Um, but anywho, so that was like that first night. So that next night we roll out, we have breakfast, and the resort is really spacious. So they have so many things. So I really wanted to kind of see what the resort had to offer. So one of the things we definitely wanted, one of the things I definitely had to have some jerk chicken, anything jerk, like jerk some shrimp, jerk some chicken, jerk steak, jerk, jerk anything. But specifically, they told us like if you take the little shuttles, and what they really are is like extended golf carts, and the men and the women they just drive them all day, and they just take you wherever you want to go. So if you're at one building, like for example, my room was I think building 35, and then my friend was in building 21. So I would always take the shuttle to her room, and you just tip the people a couple dollars um, for taking you to and fro because the rides are free. So wherever you want to go on the resort, they'll shuffle you around. And so we definitely wanted to go to the jerk hut because they had I think two, because there's one that's kind of close to where everybody kind of congregates, but then there's another jerk hut that's kind of out by the beach where you can, get some food, sit out by the beach, and people were taking the canoes out, people were taking like the paddle boards out, and people were doing something else out there. So we went over to the beach side, got some jerk chicken, got my jerk. They had rice, bread, some other stuff to go with it. And then, so we sat out and ate, and then we were eyeing, eyeing the paddle boats. And I'm like, you only live, you only live once on this side, and then, forever in eternity. So we got on those paddle boats, and let me tell you, okay, we're big girls. So they had to redistribute our weights on this paddle boat. And I was in a panic. I'm telling you, I was praying so hard. I'm like, Lord Jesus. And the four of us, so it was me, my friend, and then two other people, bless their hearts, bless those ladies for getting on that paddle boat with us. But they cracked up at me because this man, and I'm sitting in the front of the paddle boat, so I'm one of the people paddling, right? I tell him, don't push us off till I say so. Let me get comfortable. Let me be groovy first. As soon as I step my tail in that boat, I'm like, what did I say? Like the West Side came out of me. I was not playing with that man. I wanted to hurt him. However, I was too far to jump out and hurt him. So I had to just sit there because I was going to have to swim to him. So I just had to sit there. I'm like, I said, give me a moment. Wait. But he did the right thing. He just pushed us on out there. And then we started rowing, and it was actually a really great experience. I wish I would have recorded that, but Lord have mercy, my nerves. I wouldn't have been able to hold the phone. So that was a really great experience. So that was that day. And um, I think the next day we were wanting to kind of see a little bit more of the resort again. So we just kind of hung out on the resort. So they had like line dancing, they had bingo, and then of course they had those wonderful, wonderful strawberry daiquiris at like almost all the stations, especially at the swim up bar. Um, I love that a huge infinity pool. Their pool, and it's not that deep. It's only like 4 feet, but it looks humongous. Like it looks like it goes on for like half the resort space, but it's not that deep. So I just had a ball. So we had a really good time. And then that swim up bar, of course, they have a full service bar, so you can have the strawberry daiquiri, pina coladas, all the mixed drinks, all the hard liquor that you want to have. Um, But I just like the little strawberry daiquiri. I like the fruity something and then one drop of liquor, and I just drank that the entire time. Um, Also on the in the resort, like the Grand Palladium and the in the resort, they do like shows. So some of the shows are for children, some of the shows are for adults. So we actually caught the there was a couple that we went to, but I know specifically we caught the Michael Jackson show, and that was really good because I really like the MC. The MC had a really good like voice, like his presence. He just had like a really good stage presence. And then there was one young lady, I cannot remember her name, but there was one girl when she was dancing, I just could not take my eyes off of her. I was like, that girl is gonna be like a star. She could dance her butt off. Um, and they played like at the end, they introduced all their dancers, all the performers, and that girl, I was like, I'm trying to remember her name. I'm like, she gonna be, dancing with Beyonce or something one day. She was snapping. I mean, the girl doing flips, splits, everything. She snapped. But their shows were really good. And then, of course, the food was really good. Like breakfast, lunch, I probably ate, oh my goodness, I ate so much in those in that time frame. But like I said, it was a really quick, like 3, 4 days. Like I feel like I blinked and it was time for me to go. So I was like, man, man, because I had a whole list of things. I'm like, I was planning to do the Dunn's River Falls. I was planning to ride the Martha Bray, ride on the river. I had a whole little list of stuff that I wanted to do. And I was like, I didn't do none of that stuff. So I was like, I have to go back. I have to do another trip. So luckily, praise God, another opportunity came to go back to Jamaica. So how about, because I've been talking to y'all for almost 20 minutes. That's enough, right? So how about I save that second story for a second video and let y'all get back to it. So the one thing I do want to say is, we shall overcome. We're not going to be, victims to this COVID-19, this novel coronavirus. This too shall pass. And wash, wash your hands, lather, rinse, dry, all that good stuff. Um, and we will get past this. However, I do appreciate, us operating in wisdom, not fear, but in wisdom. So these gatherings, if they present the opportunity for that stuff to spread, we shouldn't be having these gatherings. We can wait 30, 60 days and resume life. Like we have to be ready for, disrupting type of life events such as this one, so that we can, learn how to mitigate, manage, and move on and continue our way of life. So again, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and then I'll get you my part 2 of Jamaica and my travel series. Um, so that's it for this evening. Thanks for watching. Peace and blessings. One love.
I just wanted to show y'all the view from my room. Pull up my top. So you can just step out and feel the breeze. My thing on. Let me show you. Ooh, my cleavage. Okay. So this is my room, and then that side is my room too. So you can just stand out here I'm gonna step on this cushion thing, and it's like so pretty. So I have to come back here. One weekend is not long enough to see everything, so I have to come back like for a week. But it is very nice. I like it here.